Thanks. Yeah. I guess in reference to the football game tonight, first thing I would say is they all count one. And, I said all week long and talked to our players about Furman would come in here with a plan. And with the coach that's been in place for 6 years, the plan would be there would be some different things that we had not seen, and I think those things were accomplished. I thought we started out pretty good, obviously started out fast, but penalties were a big part of what happened today. We had some pass interference penalties, had some good goal line stops or red zone stops as well. But, as we go through the football game, you see L.J. Scott ran effectively. The yardage, I think they got 226 yards, or 361 or something like that, but we kept seemingly shooting ourselves in the foot. 2 turnovers, which I thought could have been easily omitted, but nevertheless we got to endure the 2 turnovers. Great play by Andrew Dowell, and then after that a great drive by our offense, sort of closing it out with a touchdown pass. Positives in the game I thought were the running game, the ability to run the football, especially LJ, the 106 yards. And then also I thought Tyler played well enough to win. He had 3 touchdown passes with about 190 yards of offense. And I don't think there's any question that, this is his first game out and there were going to be some mistakes. Probably had a couple timing issues throwing the football, but disappointing that we missed the field goal. But again, you just keep moving just keep moving forward. So we've got 2 weeks to fix any problems we have and get ready for Notre Dame. I'm sure it'll be quite the challenge down there. But as I go back to what I said before, we close it out. And sometimes when you let a football team hang around, and they hang around because they played well, not because of a fluke, because they played well, that football team starts to get stronger and stronger as the game goes, and you're sort of trying to stop a little bit of a wave. So we were able to do that and close the game out, and we'll take that and we'll learn from it and we'll move forward. So I'll take some questions.
Coach, talking about that wave you just described, Riley Bulla was in here describing kind of that fog of war and trying to address the troops as the game's going on. There are things you correct in film afterwards when you go over with these guys. When you're in the heat of battle, though, how do you nip that in the bud? And how important are your leaders on the field, guys like Riley Bulla, guys like Tyler O'Connor?
Well, they're critical because they kind of keep everybody together. It's chaotic out there. You got 75,000 people. You got things coming at you. You got a no-huddle offense. You got option. You got run-pass you got RPOs, which are run-pass options coming at you. You got dive play. You got max protections, 2-man routes. So, and the quarterback put the ball in places where their wide receivers could make a play. I thought we were in good position to defend some of them, but nevertheless, they hit some of those. And then I think penalties really hurt us. We had numerous times where we're going to get off the field and there's a penalty or there's a first down. I mean, they were big penalties. They weren't small penalties of 5 yards. These were 15-yard penalties that changed the nature of the down and distance and put us behind the 8 ball a little bit. But some we were able to overcome, some we weren't.
Mark, another positive out of this game, can it be that you were able to get a win and still remain relatively vanilla with some of the new things you've installed over the summer? Yeah,
we came in and did what we had to do, I guess, to win a football game. Two times in the red zone, making them kick field goals, and then they converted on a 4th down play a couple times. But you're never going to show everything the first game, I guess, but you better be ready for the second game, and we need to be able to get better. And hopefully the second game, usually you're a little bit more loose, you're a little bit more experienced. But again, a great challenge waits us down in South Bend. But we've got time.
Mark, how much did not having RJ in the offense change the dynamic of what you wanted to do tonight?
Well, he's a leader with our wide receiver core. I thought Monty Medeiros played well, though. He's a senior. I thought he played very well. Had some big plays, on 3rd down, big run as well. But RJ's a playmaker. So, all of a sudden you forced a redshirt freshman on kickoff returns being back there. And then, we had Brandon Sowers go back for punts. So he'll be back. But he was out the majority. He was out this game.
Mark,
due to a minor injury.
Going back to penalties, first game you're always going to have some misassignments, especially with new guys up front. But when you see the penalties from guys like Josiah Price, I think Brandon Clemens had some, and they're senior guys.
Mm-hmm.
You don't normally see those things from. How much more frustrating that is an opener when you have those?
Well, yeah, they're frustrating, but I think the key to anything is how you handle disappointment or how you handle some things that don't go right for you. And so, we're not going to lose our mind out over there. We're going to keep coaching and coach for the next play, and that's what we did. Some things are out of our control. Some things are in our control. We'll have to look at the film to see which is which. But I thought our guys came out and played hard. I thought we played aggressively, and we got the win. So that's the bottom line at the end of the day.
Mark, a couple personnel questions for you.
Sure.
John Reschke didn't play at all. Is he healthy or in some type of deal?
Yeah, he'll be ready to play for the Notre Dame game. He was out with a minor injury.
Okay, and then Felton Davis, any idea what his injury was there?
I know the injury, and let you know how it goes.
Andrew Dow had the key interception late in the game. Just like the strides we've seen from him through camp and into today, how much has he grown? And then how did the linebackers play as a whole to you?
Andrew's a 100-mile-an-hour guy. I mean, he practices just like he plays. He's going to go hard on everything. He's got great skills. He's got great quickness, and he's an athletic guy, and got great hands. So for him to make that play, I think we'll see more of that. Guy's only a sophomore. I think we'll see more of that as time goes on. So it was exciting to see that. And it was a huge play after they had just gotten the ball, about the 45 or so. And the next play, he makes that play, and we go down and score, close it out.
Coach, were you happy with the success of Donnie Corley today?
Yeah, I thought Donnie played pretty well. I saw him got jammed up one time, on a route, sort of, I think he got a little maybe confused or something. But I thought he made some plays, and he's going to be a good one for us. And, we got him rolling. So the first game out there is a big step for a lot of redshirt freshmen or guys that are playing for the first time, or true freshmen, which, he was really the only one that did play. It's a big step to play that first game and then move forward from there.
Two parts. You mentioned that Corley was just the only one. Panashuk played, right? That was the only other freshman?
Yeah, Panashuk played,
okay.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Okay. And secondly, going back to the penalties, it did seem like every time a guy made a penalty, they would come back and make a big play, right after it or fairly shortly after it. How important is having that resiliency when you have so many moving parts, new quarterback and everything else?
Very critical. I think you've got to be resilient out there. There's no question about that. Hopefully you get that by being a leader, or by your confidence allows for that. But I thought both sides of the ball did that. Really, I thought we played well. We had a couple penalties, and we had to play well in the red zone. We did that. Again, I go back to, I think everybody's expecting us to walk in here and have a 40-3 shot. That didn't happen. This is a much more competitive game, and you have to credit Furman for that and look at what they were able to accomplish. And, some of it was maybe we didn't take advantage of everything, but a lot of it was them, and you want to give them credit.
Coach, talk about the impact that Prescott Line has had at the fullback position now and the tools that he's being able to provide.
Yeah, he's a thumper. He's a big physical guy. He gets on you, and, he's 255 pounds, so he's a load. So I think he brings another element to our offense.
Mark, knowing how much improvement typically happens from an opener to a second game, how uncomfortable is that interlude next week for you?
Well, you can't really you really can't pick your schedule. At least maybe you can 5 years from now or something like that. But so I've always just tried to say, hey, okay, what's the advantage of doing these things this way, whether it's your schedule or who you play or whatever the case. So to me, this will be an advantage. We'll get some guys healed up. We'll also be able to look at what we did and really diagnose who we are and look at Notre Dame further. So we'll use this as a positive. School just started for us on Wednesday, so everybody's adapting to that too, especially our younger players. So we'll use this as an opportunity to take a step forward and get ahead.
I think probably in 3 of your last 4 season openers were maybe a little more competitive than expected, as you described.
They always are.
Why do you think that is? You guys got to work a little rust off, or is that a pattern you see?
I just think there's good football played. out there. I think people say, well, we're not, we need to do this against these guys. We've got to be, we have to take advantage of this or take advantage of that, or we have to be a little bit, what's the word I want to use? I don't know what the word I want to use. It's 11 o'clock. Okay, but, we have to, they have to keep you guessing. So they do a nice job. They had a plan. They changed their plan last year. They a fullback-oriented team. They ran some 3 wide receiver sets, but, a different type of offense completely from what they did this year. Pistol, the dive, the run-pass options, the RPOs, the option itself in the second half. Held it until the second half. We had to adjust from there. Some different things, a trick play that was well designed. I thought we had it roughly covered, but they made the play. We made some plays too, and that's the thing that we'll have to look and say, okay, what could have happened, what did happen, and evaluate both.
Got 2 more, Rico and Chris.
Mark, to follow up on that question, you had just stopped them on downs with 2 minutes to go, and you guys were in the huddle. Was there any discussion of maybe trying to go down and score? And I guess what led to you deciding just to take the knee?
Well, you can run the clock out, first of all. So, we're going to win the game. That's the number one objective. So there was really no need to go down the field and do that. We could just kneel on the ball and run the clock out, and everybody can get home. That's probably the biggest reason, especially me. A little uptight on that sideline. I don't know if you noticed.
You managed to get Malik a couple possessions flipping around on the line. What did you see from that? And I guess how much of being able to do that is what happens with those guys in the middle?
I think we need to be able to use him in different places, but it's tough to say, watching the game, what you can see on interior line play, you really get it off the film. Who did what? How did they attack you? I know they ran an influence trap sometimes. They whammed us sometimes, things that we hadn't seen. They created gaps inside. They created another gap. But those are things that we're going to see. Offenses are revolutionized. I don't know if the offenses across the country really have revolutionized much of what they do. With all these different things, and you got to have more people in the box, and it's always a catch-up type game. The defense catches up, then the offense finds this. In order to, they find a different way to do something. So. We need to be prepared for all these different things that we saw, and we will be, and we need to work on those things, and then we need to implement some things as well.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.